Hey guys, I wanted to film a library haul this month. I would like to hear, I really like sharing the books I get from the library. I do not get to all of them. I think this time between the books I got out for myself and for our homeschool and for the kids, I got out $700 worth of books. They do a nice little tally at the bottom of my receipt, and they also tally the amount of books, the total value of the books that I've taken out for the entire year. And it's a lot. Last I saw was like 13,000, a little bit more than that somewhere. And I think in 2022 I would like to continue sharing library hauls, but I never know quite how to go about it, how often to do them. I was thinking maybe monthly, but I go to the library pretty much like every other week. So I'm wondering maybe I film one when I go to the library and then 2 weeks later I film another one and then just like combine those into like a giant library haul. I'm not really sure how I'm going to be doing this, but anyway, I shared some library books in my reading vlog at the beginning of the month, my first Christmas reading vlog, and then I got a bunch of recommendations. This is definitely has a bit of a mystery suspense theme going, and I think also maybe some thrillers. I had requested a bunch of thrillers that had made the Goodreads like semi-finalists list because I hadn't read any of them, and I don't like to read a ton, but try some out. Anyway, so let's just see what I have here. The first book is the second book in the Hawthorne the first one's the Inheritance Games. This is the Hawthorne Legacy. I don't know how many books there are going to be in the series, but it's about a girl who, like, she was living in her car and gets a call and finds out that she is now the heiress of like this billion-dollar fortune, but she has to live in the house with the family who thought they were going to be getting the money, I think for a year before she can get the money. And I have heard less than great things about book 2, but we'll see. I listened to book 1 on audio, so I'm still wondering if I want to read this one physically or if I want the audiobook. We'll see. This one I think was one of the thrillers of the year, The Last Thing He Told Me by Laura Dave. I really like the cover. I don't know exactly what it is that draws me. Maybe it's like the cool houses, maybe it's the font. It says, before Owen Michaels disappears, he manages to smuggle a note to his beloved wife of 1 year. Protect her. Despite her confusion and fear, Hannah Hall knows exactly to whom the note refers. Owen's 16-year-old daughter, Bailey. As Hannah's increasingly desperate calls to Owen go unanswered, as the FBI arrests Owen's boss, Hannah quickly realizes her husband isn't who he has said he was, and Bailey just may hold the key to figuring out Owen's true identity and why he really disappeared. So yeah, this one is a new release, but I kind of think this one might be it gives me like YA vibes for some reason, but it must not be. This must be one of the ones that was a semi-finalist for the thrillers. I am just gonna have so many books to choose from after Christmas here because there are just, I have like stacks still from my last library haul that I need to read. This one I heard about somewhere. Where did I think maybe this popped up. Was it one of Krista's videos? Oh, I haven't been able to watch many videos this month because I'm so busy making one a day. This is The Vanished Bride by Bella Ellis. This is a Bronte Sisters mystery. I definitely know I heard about this one on BookTube. Before they became legendary writers, Charlotte, Emily, and Anne were detectives. So we go to Yorkshire in 1845. And this one is a young wife and mother has gone missing from her home, leaving behind 2 small children and a large pool of blood. And they are horrified and intrigued by the mysterious disappearance and then obviously want to solve it. I like this kind of thing. I've been liking, you know, like the A.G. Morton series, and then there's Jane Austen Investigates. So I like the idea of taking authors and making them little detectives. So this one sounds interesting. This one I think is one of the thrillers. This one is called The Almost Wife. Like seriously, it's like blurbs are not very helpful. To have a whole back of a book with blurbs is kind of pointless. If you almost had everything that you wanted, how hard would you fight to protect it? So Kira is engaged. She craves a close family and secure home. Now she almost has it. The only problem is her Erin, his ex-wife Madison, who's out of control and trying to get their child Olive. The librarian, actually, when I went to get my books out, one of them said this was like one of the next ones on her to read list. There was no one else in the library, and there was 3 librarians working, and they were all helping me get my books, and one of them said, how many librarians does it take to get Chantel's books? Apparently 3, but only because they weren't busy. This next one is a graphic novel that I want to flip through. Ooh, cool. This is the Between Shades of Grey graphic novel. So I have read the Between Shades of Grey book and really enjoyed it. It's by Ruta Sepetys. It's historical fiction. I think we start in Lithuania, if I remember correctly. Yeah, they start in Lithuania and then they are deported in 1941 to Siberia. This girl is deported with her mom. Like, these pictures are really good, really well done. Yeah, and they have to try to survive in Siberia, which pretty much from these pictures looks like looks like Saskatchewan. There, that's me right now. It's been a windy day and a little bit of snow too. So here, this one. This is what it looks like here right now. So I look forward to reading this one. Then I've got The Good Sister by Sally Hempworth. Everyone has a dark side. 2 sisters, one truth, but which of them knows it? Okay, this just from that kind of makes me think of that Natasha Preston book. I think it's called The Twin. I started that one. It was a thriller about 2 sisters and one of them was like lying through her teeth. Another one was calling her out on it, but everyone believed the liar. So hopefully, I don't know, there was just a point where it's like, okay, it gets frustrating when people don't get, I don't know, when justice doesn't happen, which, I mean, obviously that makes for the book, but. Okay, so we've got Fern and Rose. When Rose discovers that she cannot get pregnant, Fern sees her chance to pay her sister back for everything Rose has done for her. Fern can have a baby for Rose. She just needs to find a father. Okay, I've never read anything by Sally Hempworth. Actually, never heard of her. I don't really know much in the way of thrillers. Okay, then I think on here I have two Colleen Coble books. I have read 2 of hers and I'm willing to give her 2 more tries, I guess. So I've got The View from Rain Shadow Bay. I think someone recommended this one to me. I actually really like the covers of her books, but I've kind of been a little bit disappointed. Her photographs capture the beauty of Puget Sound. Do they also expose a darkness that someone would kill to keep buried? After her husband Jack dies in a climbing incident, Shauna has only her 5-year-old son and her helicopter charter business to live for. Every day is a struggle to make ends meet and she lives in constant fear. Then her business partner is murdered and his final words convince her she's in danger too. So there's that one. And then I also have One Little Lie. This is the first book in the Pelican Harbor series. And this one says, it started with one little lie, but Jane Hardy will do everything in her power to uncover the truth in this gripping new romantic suspense. So far, oops. What I found with Colleen Coble, for the most part, the focus is too much on like the romance and the man really being the savior. I expect a little bit more from a Christian fiction book. Yeah, so I'm going to give these 2 a try, and if they're both duds, then I'm done with Colleen Coble. Then I have the Midland Murders, and is this a TV show now? What do I know about TV? Nothing. It says, the train moved off, slowly at first, then gathered momentum steadily until by the time it reached the first tunnel, it was rolling down the line at full speed. That was the last time anyone saw Florence Nightingale Shore alive again. So it's 1920, and 18-year-old Louisa Cannon dreams of escaping her life of poverty in London. When nurse Florence Nightingale Shore, goddaughter of her famous namesake, is killed in a train in broad daylight, Louisa finds herself entangled in the crimes of a murderer who will do anything to remain a mystery. Okay, I'm kind of like 1920s mystery. This one was 1845. I'm kind of liking that mysteries set in a historical time period lately, so there's that one. And then someone, oh, I don't know if I saw this one on Goodreads or if someone mentioned this to me. Murder at Maldon Hall. I feel like someone mentioned it. It's a delightful new historical mystery series. It's got a housekeeper and amateur sleuth discovers a body in the library and a mystery to baffle even her famous employer. The housekeeper's name is Phillida Bright. She's as efficient as she is personable, manages the large house with an iron fist in her very elegant glove. But the home is home to archaeologist Max Mallowan and his famous wife Agatha Christie. Oh. Phillida is both loyal to and protective of the crime writer who is much friend as employer. Okay, so we've got a mystery with Agatha Christie in it, but we are with the housekeeper. This is interesting. It definitely kind of like feels like these similar vibes following someone famous, but in here we're actually following her housekeeper. Okay. Then I got the collection of the Red Glove series. So I read Gideon's Gift last year and Hannah's Hope this year, and I thought if I wanted more easy Christmas books then I could read the other two. So we've got Maggie and Sarah. Maggie's Miracle and Sarah's Song. So for the most part they're just pretty like predictable but kind of like feel good Christmas stories. I definitely liked Gideon's Gift more than Hannah's Hope. Okay, I've got two left. This one is Long Bright River. Two sisters travel the same streets, though their lives couldn't be more different. Then one of them goes missing. Once again, we've got sisters. Seems to be a bit of a theme. Philadelphia neighborhood. Two once inseparable sisters find themselves at odds. One, Casey, lives on the streets in the vice of addiction. The other, Mickey, walks those same blocks on her police beat. They don't speak anymore, and the police department has no idea of their connection. Ooh, but then Casey disappears, and then it's a string of murders. This one alternates the present-day mystery with the story of the sisters' childhood and adolescence. I often don't like that kind of thing. Like, sometimes it's done really well, and it adds a lot more to the story, but generally I just like one storyline, one timeline, and just knowing what's going on there. So we'll see. And then, okay, I think this is my last book. Yeah. This one is, I totally got this out because of Amy. She just started a YouTube channel and I'm totally blanking on the name, but I will leave her linked below. She has, I can tell already, she's going to be pointing me to a ton of classic children's literature that I've never heard of before, and I'm just gonna be like scouring thrift stores for them because I don't think my library will even have them. But this one is a little bit different. This is the Old Farmers Almanac 2022 edition. Yeah, so she mentioned this in her previous video that I watched, and she just mentioned how there was like some interesting things to read in here. I have no idea. Like, I remember my grandparents having this out all the time. I mean, lots of ads, but I'm curious. I think I'm just turning into an old grandma. So there you have it. That is my latest library haul. Tell me like one of the most embarrassing books that you've gotten out from the library lately. Like the one that, you know, you're like, why, who am I that I have requested this book? A while ago, because I request most of my books online and then just go pick them up because they come in from a bunch of different libraries and I don't always look at all the covers. A while ago I got home and definitely did not request, but somehow I got someone else's book, and it was A Beginner's Guide to Golfing. But that one I didn't actually request. So yeah, let me know like one of your most embarrassing books and a really good library book you've requested recently. Thanks for watching, guys.